Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect circumstances before they decide to change, but the truth is that lasting transformation never begins outside of you. It begins within your mind. Your circumstances may influence your emotions for a moment, but your mindset determines the direction of your life. Every successful person has faced moments when nothing seemed to be going their way. They encountered setbacks, rejection, financial struggles, uncertainty, and failure. The difference was not that they had easier lives. The difference was that they refused to allow their circumstances to control their thinking. They made a decision to master their minds first, knowing that once the mind is disciplined, every challenge becomes manageable. Your mind is constantly interpreting everything that happens around you. Two people can experience the same setback, yet one sees it as proof that they should give up, while the other sees it as an opportunity to grow stronger. The event is the same, but the interpretation is different. That interpretation shapes every action that follows. If you convince yourself that obstacles are permanent, your motivation disappears. If you believe that obstacles are temporary lessons preparing you for something greater, you continue moving forward with confidence. This is why mastering your mind is more important than trying to control every situation in your life. Life will never provide perfect conditions. There will always be unexpected problems, difficult people, and moments of uncertainty. Waiting for everything to be perfect before taking action only delays your progress. Instead of asking for an easier path, train yourself to become stronger. Strength grows when you choose discipline over excuses and determination over doubt. Every time you refuse to surrender to negative thinking, you strengthen your mental resilience. Just as muscles grow through resistance, your mindset becomes stronger when it faces challenges and refuses to break. The thoughts you repeat every day become the foundation of your identity. If your inner voice constantly reminds you of your weaknesses, you begin to believe that those weaknesses define you. However, when you intentionally replace those thoughts with confidence, gratitude, determination, and purpose, your actions begin to reflect those beliefs. Your mind follows the direction you consistently give it. This is why successful individuals guard their thoughts carefully. They understand that negative thinking, if left unchecked, slowly steals confidence, ambition, and hope. Mastering your mind also requires controlling your emotional reactions. Difficult situations often tempt you to respond with frustration, anger, or fear. While emotions are natural, allowing them to make every decision can lead you away from your goals. A disciplined mind learns to pause, think clearly, and respond with wisdom instead of impulse. This ability creates stability even during life's greatest storms. When others panic, you remain focused. When others complain, you continue working. When others quit, you keep taking another step forward because your determination comes from your purpose rather than your circumstances. Every morning presents a new opportunity to train your mind. The habits you practice, the words you speak to yourself, the books you read, the people you listen to, and the goals you focus on all shape your thinking. Over time, these small daily choices create an unshakable mindset that refuses to be defeated by temporary setbacks. Instead of allowing your circumstances to decide your attitude, let your attitude determine how you respond to every circumstance. The beliefs you hold about yourself are among the most powerful forces shaping your life. Long before success or failure appears in the outside world, it begins in the mind through the thoughts you repeat every day. Many people live far below their true potential, not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they carry limiting beliefs that quietly control their actions. These beliefs sound like, I am not good enough, I can never change, success is for other people, or it is too late for me. When these thoughts are repeated often enough, they become accepted as truth, even when they are not based on facts. They create invisible barriers that stop people from taking risks, pursuing dreams, and believing in possibilities. A limiting belief is simply an idea you have accepted about yourself or the world that restricts your growth. Many of these beliefs are formed through past experiences, failures, criticism, fear, or the opinions of others. Perhaps someone once told you that you were not capable, and over time you began to believe it. Maybe a previous disappointment convinced you that trying again would only lead to more pain. Yet one event, one mistake, or one opinion does not define your future. The past may influence you, but it does not have to imprison you. Empowering beliefs work differently. They open doors instead of closing them. They create courage instead of fear and action instead of hesitation. An empowering belief says, I can learn, I can improve. Every challenge makes me stronger, and my future is greater than my past. These thoughts do not ignore difficulties, but they refuse to allow difficulties to determine what is possible. When you adopt empowering beliefs, your focus shifts from problems to solutions and from excuses to opportunities. The human mind acts like a filter. It searches for evidence to support what you already believe. If you believe you cannot succeed, your mind notices every obstacle and every reason to quit. If you believe growth is possible, your mind begins to notice opportunities, lessons, and ways to move forward. This is why changing your beliefs can transform your life. The world may remain the same, but your perspective changes, and that new perspective influences every decision you make. Replacing limiting beliefs requires awareness and intentional effort. First, identify the negative thoughts that repeatedly hold you back. Question whether those thoughts are actually true or simply old stories you have carried for years. Then replace them with stronger, more empowering ideas. Repeat these beliefs consistently through your words, actions, and daily habits. Confidence is not created overnight, but every positive action strengthens a new belief about who you are becoming. Your environment also plays a major role in shaping your beliefs. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the conversations you engage in all influence the way you think. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can help reinforce empowering beliefs and weaken negative ones. Over time, your mindset becomes stronger, your actions become bolder, and your confidence grows because you no longer see yourself through the lens of limitation, but through the lens of possibility. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions every human being experiences. It has the ability to stop dreams before they begin, silence ideas before they are spoken, and convince capable people that they are not ready. Yet fear itself is not the enemy. The real danger comes when fear becomes the decision maker in your life. Every successful individual has felt fear. They have faced uncertainty, criticism, rejection, and the possibility of failure. What separates them from everyone else is not the absence of fear, but their willingness to move forward despite it. They learn to transform fear into fuel for action instead of allowing it to become an excuse for standing still. Fear often appears whenever you are about to grow. It shows up before you start a new business, apply for a better opportunity, speak in front of an audience, or pursue a meaningful goal. These moments feel uncomfortable because they require you to leave what is familiar. Your mind naturally seeks safety, even when staying comfortable prevents progress. Understanding this can change the way you view fear. Instead of seeing it as a warning to stop, begin to recognize it as a signal that you are stepping into a place where growth becomes possible. Many people spend years waiting until they feel completely confident before taking action. Unfortunately, confidence rarely comes before the first step. It develops because of the first step. Every action you take teaches your mind that you are stronger than your fears. Every challenge you overcome builds evidence that you are capable of handling even greater challenges. The only way to weaken fear is to confront it consistently. Avoiding it only gives it more power over your future. Failure is one of the greatest fears people carry. They worry about making mistakes, being judged by others, or falling short of their expectations. However, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey towards success. Every mistake contains knowledge that cannot be learned through comfort alone. Each setback teaches resilience, wisdom, patience, and determination. When you stop viewing failure as something to fear, you begin to see it as valuable feedback that guides you toward improvement. Your thoughts determine whether fear controls you or motivates you. If your mind constantly asks, what if everything goes wrong, you create anxiety and hesitation. But if you begin asking, what if this opportunity changes my life? Or what if I discover strengths I never knew I had? Your perspective shifts completely. The same situation now becomes filled with possibility instead of danger. This simple change in thinking creates emotional energy that pushes you toward action rather than retreat. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is making the decision that your purpose matters more than your fear. Every time you choose action over excuses, you strengthen your character. Every difficult conversation you have, every new skill you learn, every risk you take, and every obstacle you face becomes another victory over the voice that once tried to hold you back. Over time, fear loses its ability to control your decisions because your focus becomes centered on your mission instead of your worries. The greatest opportunities in life often exist on the other side of uncertainty. The goals that inspire you most will usually demand courage, persistence, and faith before they reward you with success. When you stop running from fear and begin using it as motivation to prepare harder, work smarter, and remain committed, you unlock a level of personal growth that many people never experience. Instead of allowing fear to define your limits, let it remind you that you are standing at the edge of a breakthrough waiting to be claimed. Discipline is the foundation upon which every lasting success is built. While motivation can inspire you to begin a journey, discipline is what keeps you moving long after the excitement fades. Many people wait until they feel inspired before taking action, but feelings are unpredictable. Some days you wake up energized and ready to conquer the world, while other days you feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. If your progress depends only on how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. True growth comes from developing the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of your mood. That is the power of daily discipline, and it is strengthened through consistent habits practiced over time. Success is rarely the result of one extraordinary effort. Instead, it is created through thousands of small decisions repeated day after day. Every morning you choose whether to wake up with purpose or waste valuable time. Every hour you decide whether to focus on your priorities or give in to distractions. Every evening you determine whether you will prepare for tomorrow or leave your future to chance. These seemingly small choices may not appear significant in the moment, but together they shape the direction of your life. The habits you repeat become the person you become. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because the results are often invisible at first. A single workout may not transform your body, just as reading one chapter may not make you an expert. Saving a small amount of money today may not make you financially secure tomorrow. However, when these actions are repeated consistently over weeks, months, and years, they produce remarkable results. Great achievements are simply the accumulation of disciplined actions performed with patience and commitment. Building strong habits begins with making simple, achievable commitments. Trying to change everything at once often leads to frustration and burnout. Instead, focus on one positive habit and perform it every day until it becomes automatic. Whether it is waking up earlier, exercising, reading, planning your day, practicing gratitude, or learning a new skill, consistency matters more than intensity. Small victories build confidence, and confidence creates momentum for even greater accomplishments. Discipline also means learning to prioritize long-term rewards over temporary comfort. There will always be temptations that promise immediate satisfaction but delay your progress. Choosing entertainment instead of preparation, procrastination instead of action, or excuses instead of responsibility may feel easier in the moment, but those decisions slowly steal your potential. Every disciplined choice, even when it feels difficult, is an investment in the future you want to create. The pain of discipline lasts for a moment, but the rewards can last a lifetime. Your daily routine reflects your priorities more honestly than your words ever can. Anyone can talk about big dreams, but disciplined individuals back their dreams with consistent action. They create schedules that support their goals, eliminate distractions that waste their energy, and remain committed even when nobody is watching. They understand that excellence is not an occasional performance, but a daily habit developed through repetition and personal responsibility. There will be days when progress feels slow and the results seem distant. During those moments, remember that every disciplined action is strengthening your character even before it changes your circumstances. Each promise you keep to yourself builds self-respect. Each completed task increases your confidence. Each productive habit reinforces the identity of someone who follows through on commitments. Over time, discipline becomes less about forcing yourself to act and more about becoming the kind of person who naturally chooses growth. Responsibility and consistent effort every single day your mind is one of the most valuable assets you will ever possess, yet many people allow it to be shaped by influences they never intentionally choose. Every conversation you have, every book you read, every video you watch, every song you listen to, and every person you spend time with leaves an impression on your thinking. Over time, these impressions become beliefs, habits, and attitudes that determine how you see yourself in the world around you. This is why protecting your mind is not an option for anyone who wants to achieve lasting success. It is a daily responsibility that requires awareness, discipline, and intentional choices. The environment you place yourself in has a powerful impact on your mindset. If you constantly surround yourself with people who complain, criticize, and focus on problems, it becomes easy to adopt the same outlook without even realizing it. Negativity is contagious. It slowly drains your confidence, weakens your motivation, and convinces you that success is out of reach. On the other hand, when you spend time with people who encourage growth, believe in possibilities, and inspire action, their attitudes begin to influence your own thinking. Positive influences do not remove life's challenges, but they help you develop the strength and perspective needed to overcome them. Protecting your mind also means being careful about the information you consume every day. In today's world, endless content competes for your attention. Some of it educates and inspires, while much of it creates fear, comparison, and distraction. If you constantly fill your mind with negativity, conflict, and hopelessness, those emotions eventually shape your daily outlook. Instead, choose content that teaches valuable lessons, expands your knowledge, and motivates you to become a better version of yourself. Feed your mind with ideas that challenge you to grow rather than messages that encourage doubt and limitation. Another important influence comes from the words you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue has more power than the opinions of other people because you hear it every single day. If your thoughts are filled with self-criticism, fear, and discouragement, your confidence begins to fade. However, when you intentionally replace negative self-talk with words of belief, determination, and gratitude, you strengthen your mental resilience. Speak to yourself as someone who is capable of learning, improving, and overcoming every obstacle. The language you use internally shapes the actions you take externally. Healthy relationships are another essential part of protecting your mind. The people closest to you should encourage your growth, celebrate your progress, and challenge you to become your best. This does not mean avoiding everyone who disagrees with you, but it does mean recognizing when certain relationships consistently pull you away from your goals. Some people feed your dreams, while others feed your doubts. Choosing the right company is one of the wisest decisions you can make because your mindset often reflects the attitudes of those you spend the most time with. Protecting your mind also requires setting boundaries. Not every opinion deserves your attention, and not every criticism deserves a response. Many people become distracted because they spend too much energy trying to satisfy everyone around them. Instead, remain focused on your purpose. Learn to filter out unnecessary negativity and protect your peace. Every moment spent worrying about destructive opinions is energy taken away from building the future you truly desire. A strong mind is built through consistent daily choices. It grows stronger every time you choose learning over distraction, gratitude over complaint, courage over fear, and encouragement over negativity. As you intentionally surround yourself with positive influences and guard your thoughts with discipline, your confidence becomes stronger, your vision becomes clearer, and your determination becomes more resilient. Allowing your mind to become a place where success, hope, and purpose continue to grow. Every person dreams of a life filled with success, happiness, and achievement, yet very few people understand that challenges are an essential part of reaching those goals. Difficult moments are not signs that you are on the wrong path. More often, they are evidence that you are growing into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Life has a way of testing your patience, your courage, and your determination, not to stop you, but to prepare you for responsibilities you are not yet ready to carry. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not those who avoid hardship. They are the ones who learn how to transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth. When obstacles appear, your first reaction often determines the outcome. Some people immediately focus on what they have lost, while others focus on what they can learn. This difference in perspective changes everything. A challenge can either become a prison that traps your potential or a classroom that teaches valuable lessons. Every setback contains knowledge that success alone could never provide. It teaches resilience when plans fall apart, patience when progress seems slow, creativity when old solutions no longer work, and humility when life reminds you there is always more to learn. Growth rarely happens inside your comfort zone. Comfort feels safe because it is familiar, but it also limits your ability to discover new strengths. Every meaningful accomplishment requires stepping into uncertainty. Whether you are building a career, starting a business, improving your health, or pursuing a lifelong dream, you will encounter moments that test your commitment. Instead of resisting those moments, embrace them as opportunities to become stronger. Every difficult experience stretches your abilities and prepares you for challenges that once seemed impossible. Failure is another experience that many people fear, yet it is often one of life's greatest teachers. Every successful individual has failed more times than most people realize. Their achievements were built on lessons learned from mistakes, disappointments, and unexpected setbacks. They understood that failure is not a permanent identity, but temporary feedback. Each mistake reveals what needs to be improved, refined, or approached differently. Those who continue learning from failure eventually develop the wisdom and confidence needed for lasting success. Challenges also reveal the strength of your character. It is easy to remain positive when everything is going well, but true character is revealed during moments of uncertainty and adversity. Difficult situations expose your habits, your mindset, and your emotional discipline. They show whether you respond with fear or courage, excuses or responsibility, frustration or determination. Every challenge gives you another opportunity to strengthen qualities such as patience, perseverance, integrity, and resilience. These qualities cannot be purchased or inherited. They are developed through experience and consistent effort. One of the greatest advantages of facing challenges is that they force you to adapt. Life is constantly changing, and those who refuse to grow often find themselves left behind. Every obstacle encourages you to think differently, develop new skills, improve your strategies, and discover abilities you never realized you possessed. What first appears to be an inconvenience often becomes the turning point that leads to greater opportunities. Many breakthroughs are born during seasons of difficulty because pressure inspires innovation and persistence creates progress. Gratitude can also transform the way you experience hardship. Instead of asking why life is unfair, begin asking what each experience is teaching you. Every challenge carries a hidden gift for those willing to search for it. Sometimes the lesson is greater patience. Sometimes it is stronger faith. Sometimes it is the courage to let go of what no longer serves your future. When you approach adversity with a mindset focused on growth rather than defeat, even painful experiences become valuable stepping stones toward a better version of yourself. The strongest people are not those who never struggle, but those who refuse to let struggle define them. They continue moving forward one step at a time, trusting that every obstacle is shaping them into someone capable of achieving greater things. By choosing to see every challenge as an opportunity to learn, improve, and become stronger, you build a mindset that remains steady through uncertainty and continues to grow regardless of the circumstances that stand before you.